Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Ramble. Right off the bat, sorry if you hear some stuff, my dog is sitting on the bed behind me, and I don't want to kick him out unless he's going to be too much of a pain in the ass. Anyway, I want to talk about one of my very least favorite aspects of modern Dragon Ball that was introduced with Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, and this one thing has become a thorn in my side throughout the entirety of the Dragon Ball Super era of Dragon Ball. Excuse me, I forgot to mute my phone. This aspect of modern Dragon Ball is the infamous Goku laser scene. So, before I really tear this fucking thing a new asshole, some context. This movie tries to posit that Goku lets his guard down all the time in fights because he is so sure of himself and so sure of his victory, so arrogant that he lets his guard down all the time and gets hit by things he should have easily been able to dodge or deflect. And the scene tries to say that no matter how strong you are physically, if you let your focus waver, you are doomed to fail.
But you have problems too.
What was that for? That was a total sucker punch!
Being too relaxed can also be a weakness. And don't even get me started on the issues with your overconfidence. No matter how strong you are physically, if you let your focus waver, you're set up to fail. I've noticed many times where you're so sure of yourself, you let your guard down in battle.
Your obsession with showing me leniency borders on the pathological. You're too strong for your own good. It's made you overconfident. A fearless fool who insists on second chances and habitually lowers his guard. Here lies one of the strongest mortals in the cosmos, felled by a common ray gun. How pitiful does that feel?
Which sets up this scene where Goku in Super Saiyan Blue, or in base form in the Super Anime, he gets caught off guard and shot through the chest with a common laser. And Super continues this, to be fair, very sparingly, but still, where Goku is shot with a bullet and it actually either bruises him or causes like a little cut on his arm or whatever. Showing that if Goku isn't focusing, then he can be harmed by damn near anything. Oh boy, do I have a lot to talk about on this particular topic. First of all, that's not how this fucking works in Dragon Ball. Getting caught off guard is very much a thing in Dragon Ball, yes. However, it has been shown countlessly throughout the original Dragon Ball Z, and even Dragon Ball GT, and other things like Daima too, where just because you're caught off guard doesn't mean that you can be harmed by something that shouldn't have otherwise been able to hurt you. What happens is you get hit by something you could have either dodged or deflected. But if the thing itself isn't strong enough to hurt you, then it's not going to. The most it'll do is knock you on your ass. And I have countless examples for this. Let's take Goku in the first episode, or the first chapter, where he gets shot several times by Bulma. This is Goku at his absolute weakest. He doesn't know how to control his energy yet, at least as far as we're aware. and he doesn't even know what guns are. He got shot several times, and it left no marks on his skin. It did cause a bit of pain, but they still planked off his skin. He was bulletproof. How about this moment where Goku gets taken off guard with a surprise attack where he gets an axe to his fucking head? Oh sure, it leaves a comedic bump on his head. It causes him a bit of pain, sure. But it doesn't pierce his skin. It doesn't kill him. It doesn't do anything to him. But okay, those are original Dragon Ball, right? Those are original Dragon Ball. Those are gag scenes. They don't count. Super Nintendo, you silly bitch. Why are you bringing up gag scenes to defend this? Okay, how about this scene from the Red Ribbon Army arc? By this point, Dragon Ball had really stopped being more about gags and was more into the action-adventure side that Dragon Ball kind of became known for. Goku is tearing ass through the Red Ribbon Army base, and this one Red Ribbon Army guy gets lucky and snipes Goku in the head. It still causes him a bit of pain, but it still doesn't do anything to him. Rather curious that. How about all these examples of Nappa getting caught off guard when fighting the Z Fighters before Goku shows up?
That was a close one. Sorry, you lose! What in the... Who did that?
Notice how none of these attacks are actually able to land any serious harm on him. Aside from Krillin throwing the Destructo Disc, and Gohan shooting that blast, which all it did was sting his hand and make it numb in the manga, nothing these characters threw at Nappa could actually harm him. Even when he was off guard. Curious. Very, very curious. Now, to be fair, there are a lot, and I do mean a lot, of gag scenes, some of which people bring up as a defense for this scene in the Resurrection F movie and arc. Such as this very famous scene of Krillin throwing a rock at Goku's head. Goku is sleeping as a Super Saiyan, and Krillin throws a rock at his head, and Goku gets hit by the rock, and comes up being like, "Oh man, oh fuck, that hit my head, oh that hurts so much. Krillin, what the hell did you do that for?"
Then you've lost your mind.
Do I really need to explain the difference between something like this, which is supposed to be portrayed as a gag? Not only that, it's filler too, which a lot of people love to dismiss filler in Dragon Ball. But very conveniently, they love to point to filler in Dragon Ball when it strengthens their argument. You know, it's very, what's the word? Suspicious, isn't it? Almost like these people want to have their cake and eat it too, about saying that filler doesn't matter, except when it does, when it points out something stupid in Dragon Ball Super. Almost, very, what's the word? Disingenuous. But no, I'm not done. There are more scenes like this. Like, for example, this scene in the Cell Games arc where Goku grabs a Dragon Ball that is being in the line of fire for a bunch of elephants, and the elephants stomp on his hand, and Goku shouts out in pain, like, "Ah, man, oh, fuck, this hurts, ah." Or how about this scene in his fight with Frieza, that Goku falls in a volcano very early on, and comedically, leaps out, yelling, "His butt's on fire! My butt's on fire! Ah! Hot, 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 hot!" So, since people are apparently so fucking stupid that they can't tell the difference, these are gag scenes. These are scenes that are supposed to be funny. No different than, say, Luffy, whose whole thing is you can't harm him with blunt force. You either need to harm him with haki, or something sharp, or something that counteracts his devil fruit abilities. You can't just harm him by punching him. Here's Luffy beating his ass, or here's Nami beating his ass. I guess Luffy is weaker than Nami, huh? Man, I guess Luffy was just caught off guard and got his ass beaten so bad that he is got a bunch of bloody, swollen bruises everywhere. Maybe Luffy needs to focus a little more. Or how about this thing in the One Punch Man manga of Saitama getting scratched with a bunch of like bloody scratches on his face by an ordinary cat? Saitama really needs to focus up a little more. He needs to stop letting his guard down, I guess. Cats are stronger than Saitama, apparently. You see how stupid this argument becomes? When you start pointing to gag scenes that are not supposed to be taken seriously and trying to seriously evaluate them to say that, oh no, this character really is weak if he doesn't like keep his focus all that well. You see how stupid this is? Goku, as well as the other Dragon Ball characters, if they are hit off guard by an attack that is of sufficient level of strength, it can harm them. Piccolo was able to harm Goku at the end of the original Dragon Ball by hitting him with a surprise attack and blasting him through the shoulder. Piccolo was close in power to Goku at this time. They were both practically neck and neck. Vegeta was able to knock Goku out in the Majin Buu arc after Goku dropped his guard and Vegeta knocked his ass out by bashing him in the back of the head. Goku and Vegeta were practically equal in power at this point, not counting Super Saiyan 3. It makes perfect sense that because Goku let his guard down in these two instances, he either got severely hurt or knocked unconscious. What doesn't make sense is that Goku in Super Saiyan Blue or in Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan Blue or in base form, which is stronger than Super Saiyan God at this current time, was able to be harmed by a fucking laser beam that at most is a Mountain Buster level attack. When Goku, at this time, is beyond Universe Buster level power. That is not at all how this works. And if you want further proof of this, people love to bring up this moment in the manga or in the anime of Vegeta saying, saying to Krillin, I will lower my power level so it is far below yours, so that even one of your attacks can seriously wound me. This was not him lowering it down to a casual level where Krillin could actually hurt him. Vegeta had to suppress his power so that it is minuscule compared to Krillin in order for Krillin to fucking do this. So in order for this moment here to make any goddamn sense at all, Goku had to suppress his power in blue or in base, take your pick, to a point where he is below the level of power that he was when he fought Master Roshi all the way back in the original Dragon Ball. Which, why the fuck would he do this when he is face to face with Frieza, who just minutes prior was beating his ass? Or, how about this moment in the Tournament of Power arc where Goku gets nicked by a bullet? Why the fuck would Goku lower his power level down lower than the 10 power level fucking level that Goku was at in the first episode of the original Dragon Ball? You cannot fucking defend these moments as just saying, oh well, Goku was hit off guard before, where he was asleep as a Super Saiyan and he got hit in the head with a rock in this gag scene that isn't meant to be taken seriously, and even then, it's filler, and we don't accept filler in this house, except for this scene, because it makes this moment make more sense, even though the scene with Frieza is not supposed to be a gag scene, and blah blah blah. Shut up! Shut the fuck up! That is not how this works. That is not at all how this works. And I don't want to hear that Dragon Ball is inconsistent. The characters are inconsistent in their level of power and what they can do all the fucking... No. This is not one of those things that has ever been inconsistent. The most we ever got where Goku was hit by a bullet, or a bullet that left marks on him, or like a laser like this, is from scenes that are supposed to be taken as gags. They are meant to be funny. They are not serious scenes that literally depend on, like, literally impact the plot. Goku grabs a Dragon Ball here and screams out in horror that his hand is being crushed by an elephant. You want to know why? Because it's funny that this character who can wipe away galaxies or planets or solar systems or whatever fucking power level he's at during this time is getting harmed by an elephant, something he can lift without any trouble and chuck across the planet like it's a softball. Because it's supposed to be a funny scene. You know, here's for good measure. Here's Gohan when he's super fucking rusty, getting punched in the face by some bully or kid at school or whatever. And Goku, like, he's caught off guard during this moment and gets knocked down. You want to know what happens to the guy who punched Gohan? He broke his fucking hand against Gohan's face.
You missed me. Huh? Hey, Fidel! Huh?
You...
Well, I think I'll be okay.
Huh? He pounded you in the face and you don't even have a scratch.
I don't? Not even a black eye? Man, how lucky can you get?
I can handle that little punk. She just caught me off guard. Shoot, it's a little skinny kid that's unusual. Yeah, I think I busted my hand on his face.
What?
No joke. I felt like I was hitting a wall of solid steel.
But no, he was caught off guard, right? So that means that Gohan should have had like a bloody nose or something. He should have had a bloody nose, maybe lost a tooth, right? Anyway, I suppose that's all I really got to say on this particular subject, because there's not really much to it. It's basically just kind of taking this moment that people have tried to defend and say, hey, it makes perfect sense. It's explained in the movie. It's explained in the arc. Blah, 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 blah. Just because it's explained in the arc does not mean that it is okay, because this is not at all how the series has ever worked. It has never once been a thing where, because Goku wasn't paying attention, he got severely hurt by something that shouldn't have even hurt him to begin with. At most, giving it the absolute best leeway I can possibly give, what should have happened is Goku isn't paying attention, The blast hits him and probably knocks him on his ass, and Goku sits up like, ow! Fuck! God damn it, who shot me? Like, man, that hurt. And Goku gets up again like nothing happened. Because it shouldn't have been able to pierce his skin. Even at best, even if we argue that this blast from this little ray gun is like significantly upgraded, it should have just left a bruise. It would have been one thing if, say, Frieza developed this little ray gun so it was strong enough that it could harm him in golden form, and he'd be like, well, if this thing is strong enough to harm me, it would be strong enough to harm Goku, right? As like a backup plan. That would make sense. But that's not what happened. Hi, I have one more thing to add to this little point here, and it is this. So in the Super Anime version, Goku is in his base form when he gets the laser shot through his chest, as I've mentioned a few different times in this video. The thing that I kind of realized while editing this, and I brought this up to one of my friends as well as I was talking with him while I was editing this, is if Goku's in his base form and Frieza's still in his golden form, there's no need for the fucking laser gun. Goku is in his base form. Frieza, although exhausted, is still weak enough that he's able to take attacks from Blue Vegeta just moments after this. Frieza could have just done this himself. Frieza plays possum or something, Goku goes back down to his base form, then Frieza shoots him in the chest or punches him in the balls or something. There you go. He incapacitates Goku in a way that makes perfect sense with how the rules of durability and whatnot work in this series. There was no fucking reason for the laser gun in the Super Anime version. I guess I should also say this too. Why does this bother me so much? Oh, it's just a scene that's supposed to be there for the plot so Goku can get out of the way so Vegeta can have his turn. You're not supposed to take it too seriously. It's Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's a show to make toys and whatnot. You're not supposed to take it seriously. Dragon Ball is for kids. First of all, the for kids thing is not true. It's made for a shonen audience. It is made for young boys intended from like preteen age to like late adulthood. Or late like childhood, like 17. Boys from the ages of 11 to 17 years old. That's the intended audience. That's a wide fucking gap. Second, Toei knows that Dragon Ball appeals to basically everybody. So does Toriyama. He's been aware of this since he started Dragon Ball. Third, people across so many different fandoms love to use this moment to say, oh, well, if Goku gets caught off guard, then he can be defeated by basically anyone. Like Saitama, who at most is Galaxy Buster level, can kill Goku if he gets caught off guard. Completely ignoring that this same fucking argument can be used against Saitama, considering he was hurt by a fucking cat scratching him. Retards! The final reason why this bothers me so much is because If you couldn't tell, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan and have been all my life. I know the series can be better than this. I have seen the series be better than this. Hold on. I have read the series being better than this. These are just 3 of the entire original Dragon Ball manga that I have. I know this is the Dragon Ball Z manga, but I have the original Dragon Ball up there too. The original Dragon Ball continuity. I have all of it in physical book form. I have read these a dozen times. I have seen the series hundreds of times. I have seen every fucking corner of this franchise. I have played almost every fucking video game of this series. I am a massive Dragon Ball fan. Not a fanboy, otherwise I wouldn't be making this fucking video. It bothers me because I have seen the series be better before. I have seen it be far more consistent, far better written, far better drawn, far better animated. And scenes like this show to me that whoever is in charge, whether it be Toriyama, Toei Animation, Shueisha, or even Toyotaro, whoever is in charge of this series does not respect it, does not care about it. Because if they did, scenes like this would not exist. And that is why I care. I criticize modern Dragon Ball, particularly Dragon Ball Super, because I care. I adore this franchise, these characters, this story. Almost everything about it, I adore. I love. I criticize. I know it can be better. And I want it to be better. This is no different than people continuing to harp on Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, or Sonic Boom, or Sonic Forces, for the Sonic franchise, for doing the same fucking thing to that franchise. Those games, that series, destroyed Sonic as well. And if we want to see Sonic improve, we need to criticize it. And it's working. Because of all the criticism that older Sonic shit has been getting, we are finally starting to see Sega turn things around with Sonic, or rather Shadow, Generations. Good level design. Good writing. Fantastic visuals. And for the first time in however long, this CGI movie that they made prior to the game coming out, it was actually included with the game if you got it on PS4 or PS5 or whatever. It's not on the Switch version, but like I feel like more people are going to play it on the PlayStation. These things are included in the game, finally. Thanks to the criticism that Sonic fans have been lobbying. And maybe, just maybe, we could see something similar happen for Dragon Ball. Toriyama may not be among the living anymore. But that doesn't mean that Dragon Ball can't return to its former glory. As long as people who are behind Dragon Ball treat it with the care, attention, and effort that it deserves. Anyway, back to my video. That's all I got for this Let's Ramble. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you as annoyed by this moment as I am? Do you have some kind of defense for this that could possibly make sense? Do you like this moment? Do you hate this moment? I don't fucking care. Let's talk about it in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys the next time I want to ramble about something. Take care.
Sit on the sinking square window!